this is Laron. I've had a lot of requests to obviously put together a course or some type of guide or tutorial to help people getting started with algorithmic trading. And I'm pretty busy, just like you all are as well. So I wanted to put together quick talks on how to get started with algorithmic trading, or some things to do, to look out for to get started. Some tips and tricks, and I'm gonna put them together in a series of short videos. And eventually, I could put together a course. But at the moment, this is the best I could do, and I hope it is helpful to you all. So this one is going to be called the 5 things you need to know to get started in algorithmic trading. Primarily, I think most people are aware of how to code. How to write a for loop, how to write a while loop. I'm not the best professor or teacher on that, so I'm not going to try to do that. And this is more so for people who need a direction. And because you could learn how to code, but it's pretty difficult to know what to code and why to code. There's a difference why, program managers and portfolio managers make the real big money, because they know what to code and they know why to code it. And I think a lot of people are just lost in, what to do and why to do it and how to get started. So this is more so a high level view of how to get started and what to actually do. So the first thing is people need to start thinking about outcomes and then build the outcomes you want. So first, think about outcomes. Meaning, don't just build a Bollinger Band trading algorithm just because you wanted to build a Bollinger Band trading algorithm. You need to build things with a purpose to actually be put into your portfolio. Why did you need to build that algorithm? Why did you build it in the first place? You need to think about these things before you even do that. And so think about outcomes and then build the outcomes you want. So first, the reason I'm saying this is what do we all want, right? Many people want consistent, profitable algorithms, consistent, profitable trading. And if you look at a equity curve of a consistently profitable portfolio, we all want this 45-degree angle, right? Where you have money and time. You know, as you continue to trade the strategy, you get a consistent returns, right? We all want that. And that's what we want our outcome to be. So if we set our outcome to be a consistent return with a 45-degree angle, a lot of people end up falling down the wrong routes. They end up falling down a rabbit hole, doing the wrong things and building the wrong things after that. I'm starting with this simple example because some other people are looking for low correlated risk or crisis alpha. Those are more complex concepts. But for right now, let's just focus on this. Now, because everyone or most people would want this 45-degree angle of a return, they go and seek strategies that will give them this. And so they'll end up doing a trend following algorithm or a mean reverting algorithm. So let's look at the trend following first. So a trend following algorithm or system, I'm gonna call it TF. And we're looking at the equity curves first. You don't need to know too much about these things. So trend following, you typically have 30 to 40% win rate. Return to risk is pretty high, and so you're probably going to get 3 times. Your wins is 3 times your losses. Your very very consistent losses. And the 1 or 2 big winners will pay for the losses. And so that equity curve will kind of look like this, where you have periods of drawdown, and then you catch a trend and it goes back up, right? So this isn't the best. Let's put high drawdowns. So this isn't the best trading system by itself. A lot of people don't like to trade the trend following system because it's very difficult to stick with, right? It's hard to stomach a trend following algorithm. And let's look at a mean reverting algorithm as well. So if we look at a mean reverting algorithm, the equity curve of it, in many ways like the mirror opposite of a trend following algorithm. You could have 60 to 80% win rate. Small winners, so the risk to reward is pretty close to like 1 to like 1.5 in my experience. Consistent winners. Low drawdowns. But the biggest drawback with this is susceptible to what we call it black swan events. I mean, we're all susceptible to black swan events, but this one in higher regard. But let's look at how the equity curve would look for a mean reverting system. So because it's a consistent winner, what you're going to end up with is very slow, steady moving up, some sharp drawdowns down, but then it'll continue to move up, sharp drawdowns, and continue to move up. And this is, if you look at this algorithm for the mean reverting algorithm, you're going to say, okay, well, this isn't the holy grail because of these drawdowns. It isn't the holy grail because of this valley period that it's into. And many cases also, you could end up with a sharp drawdown like this. But for this example, let's not look at that. So if you look at these two systems, they're not particularly the holy grail by themselves, right? It's a far cry from our 45-degree angle that we're actually looking for. But we're getting it one step closer to what we actually want, though, when we look at this. So in the second bullet, what we should do is classify strategies. So classifying these strategies, we could look at the equity curve first, and we'll say, okay, well, this isn't particularly what I want individually, but maybe we could do some work to make it what I want. So if we took these two strategies, let's go down here. If we took these two strategies and we say, okay, they're not the holy grail themselves, but if you're algorithmic trading, you don't have to make that decision of which one to choose. You could choose both. There's multiple ways to make money in this market, and there's nothing stopping you from choosing both. So what would happen if you choose both in this very simple example? So let's do some terrible drawings here, but let's see what would happen if we choose both. Let's say if we overlapped one with the other, and you see that. So if we overlap one with the other, you could see that the drawdown periods would level out. And what you could potentially have is a system where you get closer and closer. Or let's say that this is the middle. Well, you get closer and closer to your goal of getting this 45-degree angle. So the third thing is combine strategies. So you relax the constraint of one strategy needing to be the holy grail. And then by doing this, you can now combine strategies based on their equity curves to get your 45-degree angle and to get close to it. And it's very simple to do this, and that's pretty much all I've done that has brought me the returns I've gotten this year. But generally, this seems to be an approach that works over 20 to 30 years of my backtesting. You combine strategies, you build a portfolio that could give you the outcomes you actually want. Fourth thing, very quickly, is once you've combined the strategies, obviously you need to well, after I've told you, combine the strategies, you may ask the questions, okay, well, what are some examples of trend following algorithms? What are some examples of mean reverting algorithms? So here's a quick summary. You could, trend following is, it's very simple, very dumb in the sense, moving average crossovers, weekly highs, or X number day highs, or highs and lows. And then for mean reverting, you have some Bollinger Band, you got RSIs, and any other indicator that you want to look at mean reverting trends or mean reverting systems. But essentially what trend following do is, trend following is you're looking at a price, you assume the price is going to continue in its general direction, and so you buy or sell in the general direction. The mean reverting says you're looking at a price, you're seeing it's moving in a general direction, and you're saying it's going to go against that general direction. So you use whatever indicator you need to justify going with the trend or against the trend. But essentially, that's basically all you need to do. So then, in the fifth thing, you put it together. Put it all together, and what you end up with is, this is where the most difficulty comes. When you have to become a portfolio manager, you're gonna have to think about how many trend following algorithms you're gonna put in, how many how many mean reverting algorithms, what are the correlations of them, what are my position sizing, and these are the things you need to think of now. So, how many trend following, how many mean reverting, position sizing, position sizing, correlations, markets, all these things is what you need to think of. And this is where it actually becomes difficult. And this is where, the answers are just become innumerable. And I can't really tell you what to do and how to do it. I could say maybe you do two moving average or two trend following systems and two mean reverting systems, and you figure out how to best mix them. But then you have to do a lot of portfolio calculations to determine that if this was the right mix of currencies and things like that. And even if you look at my example here with my terrible drawing, you could see that, or someone could critique that right here, they both enter drawdown, and they both seem to be correlated with their motions. So you don't want to even use that. But this is just an example, a general example, with the two strategies. Now, obviously, I classify the systems as trend following or mean reverting, and that's primarily how I did it to simplify things. Obviously, you have other things like statistical arbitrage and anything else, but I'll consider that other strategies. But to get started, all you need to do is think about the outcomes, look at what outcomes you want to get. If you want to get a 45-degree angle portfolio return, then you need to build strategies in a portfolio to do that. You classify strategies, you either look for trend following or mean reverting, and then you figure out which one works for you, which ones you're comfortable with, and you put them into a portfolio together. You combine the strategies, you do some back testing, you see if the portfolio ends up being the 45-degree angle you're looking for. You could then vary the number of strategies you have in there, try different trend following strategies, different mean reverting strategies. You put it all together and find out a metric that works for you, but you put it all together and then you keep testing strategies this way, keep testing portfolios, and you keep iterating from 1 to 5. And hopefully this helps. Hopefully this is a good general overview of what to do. Obviously you could get into the nitty gritties of what is a trend following algorithm, what is a mean reverting algorithm, but those things are very easy to answer on Google. This is the general approach. You stop complicating the process. You take simple strategies, you put them together in a very smart way, and you have a portfolio that works and can make you money consistently. So that's the end of this video. I'm going to put together some more videos, and hopefully hopefully you guys like them, and hopefully they help you. Okay, thanks.